How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Ryuzu video. Hope you all are doing well. In today's video, man, we're gonna finish this book finally. No matter how long it takes, I don't think there's too much more, but I don't care. We're just gonna keep going to the end. I have no idea what the end of this volume 10 has in store for us, but in the last part, it seemed to be going towards Subaru going back to Earlham Village, and maybe having a talk with Beatrice, because if you saw the last part, you know that Ram told Subaru to tell Beatrice that she can ask all the questions she wants or something. Just ask your questions. So I have no idea what those questions could entail, or the context, or who are the questions for. Who the hell knows? And of course, we also saw, Subaru and Amelia, their interactions, which was always fun to see their relationship, how it's grown over the past however long it's been. They have a lot of mutual trust for each other, and their relationship just seems to be going up from here, man. So I'm happy for them. Roswell's probably scheming away as always. Still have no idea about Roswell. We know nothing about the man. But yeah, I'm not going to stall too long here. If I remember correctly, it was just, Subaru was just going back to the village while Emilia stays and takes another shot at the trial for the 4th time, I believe. So I'm not sure if I missed anything too important, but again, not going to stall for too long. Let's just get right into this, shall we? I am excited. We're going to finish the book, guys. Oh, another thing. Subaru, really? I mean, there's been some suffering, but it hasn't been super painful for him. So, that's good. Maybe in this book, he won't face, or will have to deal with a terrible death at the very least. So, good job, Subaru, for not having that happen to you. So far at least. Who knows? Alright, so yeah, there's preparing to go back to the village, and okay. With Amelia and subsequently Ram seeing them off, Subaru and the others set off from the sanctuary in the dragon carriages. So I'm not sure. Yeah, he's taking back the villagers, and I don't know if Garfiel was coming with them. I don't think so. I don't think that would make sense. Never mind about that, but at a steady pace, it wouldn't even take half a day. Oh, really? It wouldn't take half a day to reach Earlham Village. The main concern on the road ahead was the barrier that blocked the passage of those who were mixed and led people astray. But, yeah, if they're trapped in there, then how would they... Oh, wait, it looks like it's going to get explained here. If you know the right path and you're a pureblood who doesn't trigger the barrier, ain't no problem. Ain't like either of us want to keep more people with grudges than we need. Beyond that, I'm grateful that you offered yourself as a guide to make sure we don't get lost, but Garfiel was inside the dragon carriage, sitting in a seat at an angle and having a great time. Sitting opposite him, Subaru leaned on an elbow inside. Okay, so Garfiel is actually going with him, or at least helping him get out of the sanctuary and through the barrier. You're not guiding us. Hell, you're practically falling asleep. Did you ditch the job? Nah, it's just that black dragon of yours is too damn good. She got a perfect grasp for the road and just running down at once, so there ain't nothing for me to do. Aside from her taste in men, my Patlash really is perfect, isn't she? She do be perfect. No other land dragon can beat Patlash. Subaru was very fond of his favorite dragon, whose specs were so high they had earned Garfiel's seal of approval. But that she'd pick Subaru as her owner might have been indicative of a certain flaw in her character. Either way, her amazing performance was why Subaru had ended up one-on-one with Garfiel. Over at the driver's seat, Otto made a point of having nothing to do with the conversation, as he should. Either way, he's gonna get picked on. He's gonna, throw it to the side. Otto, don't even get involved with him, Otto. You deserve better. And so the chatter naturally drifted to the topic that they had set aside until now. So, before you head out, there's something I want to talk to you about. Unless you're real bad at guessing, I think you can manage what it is. Sorry, setting aside opinions on whether I'm good or bad at guesswork, there's a whole bunch of problems I can think of. Unless you can tell me the specifics, no way I'm gonna understand what you mean. Well, ain't that rough. In that case, I'll lend you a hand in solving your problems. Garfield spread his thighs where he sat, turning a sharp gaze towards Subaru. Subaru's breath caught as he recoiled from those eyes that were not so much piercing as they were cutting. The way you say that doesn't sound like a good omen to me. In other words, hey, third rate, you took the trial, didn't you? Oh, hoo, hoo, hoo. The question Garfield posed in a low voice, like the guttural growl of a beast, ran right through Subaru. Again, he got out of this conversation when he was speaking with Amelia, but how he's going to get out of this now? I don't think Garfield's going to let him go. It's too easy. When Subaru narrowed his eyes at the question, Garfield shook his head. Don't hide it. I ain't picking on you. I'm wondering, like, people not qualified to take the punishment once, and then they're free to enter the second time and after. That's just a guess. Not like anyone's tried it. If you want to tell Roswell to try it, I'm not going to stop you. Me, I love him to try, too. But Ram smacked me half to death, so I'll pass. With a pained look and a flippant tongue, Garfield bared his fangs as he laughed a little. As he pointed out, he'd come to the conclusion that Subaru had been able to enter the tomb because it was his second time. There was no way for Garfield to be sure, but it seemed he intended to make something out of it. Let's say for the sake of our argument that's true, what do you plan to do about it? Now hold on, I figured you wouldn't cop to it. That's just a what if. So I'll talk about something easier for you to agree to. This is Gam and Gum bridge building level stuff. Okay, Garfield, I have no idea what you're talking about. Garfield unleashed another one of his trademark mystery phrases, and while Subaru felt his mouth go dry from the incredibly not casual level of pressure it suggested, he drew in his chin, indicating he would at least hear out the proposal. Accepting this, Garfield continued. Okay, so Garfield thinks... Seems like Garfield thinks he took it before, and if you take it a second time, there's no punishment? So Garfield really didn't question him that much, huh? It's real simple. If you're qualified, then you take the trial and lay him in his place. Lift a barrier for me and my people. Wait, I can't do that. That assumes Amelia's gonna fail. Garfield was proposing that Subaru challenge it in Amelia's place. Certainly, the thought had grazed Subaru's head several times over. As a matter of fact, Subaru had already passed one of the three parts of the trial, leaving two obstacles to go. If pressed, he would admit he had a strong desire to challenge it. But that was something he wanted to avoid. If he did that, all Amelia's struggles to date would be for... Yeah, I mean, Amelia really wants to complete the trial for herself and, for the villagers. And Subaru doesn't want to take that away from her. Don't get me wrong, me and the old hag want to be freed from the sanctuary, and we don't much care who does it. You want Lady Amelia to do it so she can have the old hags and the hostages thanking her. That's your problem. Including wanting her to overcome a hateful past and take the sting off it. That's all your problem. It ain't got nothing to do with us. Subaru couldn't summon a rebuttal to Garfield's words. Looking at it from Garfield's point of view, of course that's how he saw the sanctuary's situation. Just as he'd said, having Amelia undertake the trial and hoping that she would overcome it was essentially the solution to a personal problem. Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that does make sense, but still, I wonder how Amelia would take that. How she would feel about that. If they kind of just throw her to the side and make Subaru take it. Kind of, I don't know. She'd probably just feel really defeated. But I do understand where Garfield's coming from. They don't care. It is a personal problem. They just want to get out of the sanctuary. It doesn't matter who does it. When Subaru hung his head at the sound of argument, Garfield sighed as he added more. Is the past really something you gotta overcome in the first place? For 3 days I've been watching Lady Amelia challenge the trial, same as you. It's breaking her. Seeing her come out all messed up like that, I can't stand to watch. Cranking the skin of his nose, Garfield brought up the heartbreaking sight of Amelia right after emerging from the tomb. The number of times Amelia had failed to overcome the trial were adding up. But it wasn't just that. It was the sight of her turning back, broken, panicked, calling for Puck, and finally sleeping as if her strength was exhausted. The ordeal was excruciating, but what lay behind her after she overcame that was, I believe Amelia will overcome it. That's why you're free to hope she does, but can a Lady Amelia really overcome her past? Could it be that crying and going all, I'm scared, is what she really wants to do? Me? I can't really tell what Amelia really wants. The words Garfield threw out struck Subaru like a shower of cold water. Subaru had meant to respect Amelia's wishes and devotedly supported her until the matter was resolved. However painful it was to climb that wall, as long as Amelia challenged it without fear, he would continue lending her a hand. Amelia, challenging the tomb in spite of her trembling legs, heedless of the cry of her heart. Right then, when Garfield said it out loud, Subaru arrived at the possibility for the first time. The possibility that she wanted to be rescued, that she was searching for salvation. If, in her own heart, she truly wanted someone else to fight in her place, then who should be that someone if not Subaru himself? Huh. I guess that's a way to think of it. But is that really what she wants? I don't know. That's one more thing I've got to really talk to her when I get back. Nothing. Setting aside whether I accept your proposal or not, it sure does sound like it helps solve my current problems. Gotta say, you really are a surprising guy. Don't say stupid stuff. Me? I just want to improve my odds even a little bit. Clenching his fangs in annoyance, Garfield turned his face away from Subaru. Rather than this being a cute reaction in the vein of concealing a blush, he seemed genuinely irritated, which brought a pained smile to Subaru's face. But when it came to his assertion about improving the odds, there was a lot there Subaru could agree with. What do you want to do when we get out of the sanctuary? Well, ain't that out of the blue? What I want to do once I'm out, Yeah, I want to hear that too. I mean, you are apparently the world's strongest man. I mean, what will you do? What will you do, Garfield? You've been twisting arms left and right to get the barrier lifted and escape, right? I was thinking you had to have something you wanted to do on the outside. He innocently raised the topic, but Garfield was completely taken aback. It was as if he found the question unexpected, or even as if it was something he'd never thought of before. That's something only a person who can freely come and go would say. If you can go wherever the hell you want, you can understand how me and the old hags feel, right? Finally, Garfield slowly spat those words out. Subaru felt like he'd been insulting, but Garfield stood up, giving him no opportunity to apologize. We're close to the barrier. This is as far as I go with you. Take care of the rest, you hear? Okay, yeah. I don't know why I thought Garfield would go with him. Obviously, if he could just leave, the whole point of this is so that they can, release the barrier so Garfield and others could leave. So yeah, he was just helping him get to the barrier. Take care of the rest, you hear? You bet. I'll be coming back real soon. Not like I have zero worries about stuff, though. He was worried about returning to the mansion. On top of that, he felt a duty to make sure of certain things. Petra's safety was obviously one concern, but even more than that, making sure whether a certain sleeping girl was safe. Ram, yes. Well, crap, it can't be helped. Garfield scuffed off his blonde hair as he harshly clicked his tongue. Surprised by the gesture, Subaru turned towards him as he put a hand on his own waistcloth. Then, take this with you. This crystal, it's the same as the one Frederica had. The piece of the jewelry Garfield took out of his pocket and offered Subaru was a necklace of blue crystal on a string. The gem looked identical to the one Frederica had possessed. So they both had one. And is this one used for the barrier as well? The twin blue crystals was undeniable proof that Garfiel and Frederica shared some kind of bond. I don't intend to talk about our circumstances. Just, it's trouble for us if you don't come back, so I'm giving this to you. In a pinch, show it to Frederica. Taking this before I head off makes me worry I'll get teleported by the barrier all over again. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you don't need it, just give it back. But having it might help you in a pinch. When Subaru turned the crystal over in his palm, Garfiel reached out like he wanted to take it back. With a grand gesture, Subaru escaped from his hand and stuffed the crystal he had received into his pocket. He didn't know what lay between Garfiel and Frederica. They were likely blood relatives. The barrier that supposedly rejected the passage of anything considered mixed seemed like a literal impassable wall between the pair. If, perhaps, the barrier was the reason Frederica had been scheming... So maybe, if what we heard about Frederica is true, that she's scheming, the reason she's trying to intercept the liberation of the sanctuary is so the barrier doesn't get taken down, and so she doesn't have to see Garfiel again. Maybe that's why. I mean, obviously we don't know what their relationship entails, but that's the only reason I could think of. So just sabotaging the liberation so that they don't see each other. Frederica doesn't want anything to do with him, maybe. But who knows? I have to find out what Frederica meant to do. So we'll wait for the good news, okay? What's this good news business? If it ain't like... Alright, I don't know how I'm gonna pronounce this. Give me a break here. What's this good news business? If it ain't like... Baluma Roy, it makes the sun go down. Then no way I'd ever tell the difference. Subaru, in his attempt to bid Garfiel farewell on a positive note, drew his first smile from Garfiel had seen that wasn't related to his ferocity. However, I still have no idea what makes the sun go down. Subaru remained ignorant of what just the mystery phrases pressing against his back meant. So do I, Subaru. I think pretty much all of us do. 8 hours after setting off from the sanctuary, and 6 since parting ways with Garfiel, Subaru arrived back at the Roswell Manor. Just before... Okay, so he's there now. Okay. Just before sunset. Will you really be alright without me there with you? Otto spoke with a concerned, subdued voice from the dragon carriage halted in Erlheim village. Now that the refugees had been safely transported back to the village, Otto and Subaru watched as moving reunions broke out between family members who had temporarily separated. Oh, that's nice. Otto was no doubt keeping his voice down because he didn't want to interrupt the reunions. Otto's such a good guy, man. I really like Otto as a character. I really like him. Yeah, I'll head back to the mansion by myself for now. If nothing happens, I'll send my thoughts over to you straight away. So hook up with me after that. After getting that, okay? So Subaru's gonna go to the mansion, maybe check up on Ram, maybe question Frederica, and then question Beatrice. That's what I'm thinking. Or maybe not in that order, but we'll see. Mr. Natsuki, you have so many distractions. I'm concerned that my accepting your precious thoughts might leave you in dire straits. I'm joking, but let me speak seriously. If you're trying to be considerate towards me, then... I won't say that's completely inaccurate, but you're my insurance. When Subaru scratched her cheek and spoke those words, Otto tilted his head and asked, "Insurance?" Nodding back towards them, Subaru explained. At the very least, you're the only person here who knows our circumstances. If you figure something really did happen to me, I want you to avoid doing anything crazy and report back to the sanctuary. I'd rather not speak of such things, even if only just in case, but... Well, since you're a crew's Mr. Dependable merchant, I'm counting on you. Yes, leave it to. Wait, since when do you have the arbitrary lump to leave it? I just can't. Uh, wait, since when have you arbitrarily lumped me in with your faction? When Otto was sure of being entrusted with a job he didn't remember accepting, Subaru forced a smile and set out from the village. Striding Patlash, he raced like the wind up the road from the village to the mansion. What, are you worried about me? That's alright, I'm not going to cause you any trouble. When they arrived at the front gate, Subaru dropped off Patlash's back and rubbed the tip of her nose. His favorite land dragon responded with a lively gesture, rubbing him with her head, and accompanied Subaru on his way to the mansion's entrance hall. The day had stretched into dusk. The orange sun shone on Roswell Manor, nestled between the mounds. Gradually, he sensed night approaching from the sky to the east. First, door number 1. Subaru spoke those words as he stood before the doors and put his hand on the knocker. Taking a deep breath, he strongly knocked with it, announcing the arrival of a guest to all within the building. For a time, he waited for a response from his side, but door number 1, no good. Proceeding to door number 2. Oh man, come on. When the supposedly present servants didn't reply, Subaru suppressed the sigh as he gently pressed his hand to the doors. When he applied a little pressure, he found that they had been carelessly left unlocked. Without much difficulty, he slipped through the gap between the doors and trespassed on the mansion. The doors were left unlocked. Okay. The worried breath given off by the land dragon at the very end, a moment before the doors separated him, weighed heavily on Subaru's heart. Dude, what is about to happen? What is happening? What is going on here? I swear, if he walks in here and everyone's just dead, I'm done. I'm gonna end it there. Stilling himself, Subaru turned his eyes toward the interior of the mansion he hadn't seen for 3 days. At the very least, the broad entry hall was quiet, with no sign that anyone was near him. The words Ram had shared prior to his departure abruptly rose from the back of his head. If Frederica did bear any ill will, she was no doubt already gone from the mansion. If the worst case was that Frederica had gone off somewhere, he didn't care. The problem was whether she left by herself or took Petra and Ram with her. Exactly, yeah. He needs to find out immediately. He wasn't thrilled with either possibility, but he especially didn't want to think about the latter. So don't tell me Frederica is behind all this. I don't know. Is something gonna happen? Like, is Frederica... Did she do something while she was in the mansion? I don't know, something's going on here. He wasn't thrilled with either possibility, but he especially didn't want to think about the latter. He had the handkerchief on his wrist and the crystal Garfiel had entrusted to him. Relying on the presence of those two things, he advanced, stepping farther into the mansion. His brows scrunched up as his sense of foreboding. Subaru was on his verge of calling out to the occupants in a loud voice. Without the sight of the people who ought to have been there, the familiar mansion's corridors felt like unknown territory. When Subaru walked into the hallway of the main wing and peered within, he was greeted by a strange sight. As far as he could see, every single door in the corridor had been opened. Doesn't seem like someone did this to air the place out. Was someone searching for Beatrice, maybe? From what Subaru could tell, only the doors had been thrown wide open. There was no sign anyone had touched the windows. All the rooms were impeccably tidy. That served as proof of Frederica and Petra's capabilities as servants. The empty tidiness clawed painfully at Subaru's chest. Yeah, this is really weird, man. I mean, is Frederica like the only one? I think she's the only one really there at the mansion, because obviously Rem is not. She's not present, you know. So Frederica would be the only one to greet him at the door. And, Beatrice never leaves her little room, so I don't know, something's going on with Frederica, I think. Though that served as proof of Frederica and Petra's capabilities, servants, the emptiness, tidiness clawed painfully at Subaru's chest. Something was wrong, something felt off, something was very unnatural. What is going to happen? This is going to end on a freaking cliffhanger. Something bad's about to happen. A detestable feeling, I foul timidity crept around the inside of Subaru's body. With a deep breath and a hand to his chest, he held it in check by force. He'd already noticed that this was a bizarre emergency situation. After the many dangerous situations he found himself in, Subaru's survival instincts were currently ringing loud and clear. There was some kind of issue there in the mansion. If he'd followed his initial judgment call, Subaru would have immediately left the mansion and rendezvoused with Otto. The best plan was to tell his allies of the strange occurrence in the mansion so that they could devise a way to address it. If the mansion hadn't contained so many people he wanted to save within its walls, that's exactly what he would have done. He understood it was reckless and irrational. Even so, he had to be sure. Subaru didn't know how long it would take to return here with the allies. The more time passed, the greater the chance the girls inside the mansion would be spirited away. He couldn't weigh them all on a scale. He just couldn't. Who to put first? Gripping the handkerchief. Oh yeah, I forgot Petra's there as well. Because Petra was a new maid. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, Frederica and Petra are the maids there right now. Oh no, I hope nothing happened to... Oh man. Subaru's gotta choose who wants to really check on first, or... I don't think it matters. He just gotta find someone. Gripping the handkerchief on his wrist, as if to make sure it was still there, Subaru's brain tossed and turned enough to bring it to a boil. The people in the mansion related to Subaru in some way numbered before. All girls. Among them, Frederica was the lowest priority. At the moment, it was unclear to Subaru where she stood. Besides, she probably possessed combat capabilities. If anyone could deal with problems as they arose, it was her. Yeah, that is true. As Subaru stepped forward with trembling, wavering knees, he realized if he had to go over them one by one to decide whom he had to check on first, then he could only think of Rem. He had any number of excuses he could cite. Asleep and immobile, Rem was completely defenseless. With her existence forgotten, there was no way to be sure what value he had held to a potential enemy, so he couldn't simply leave her alone. In her own room, she had to be asleep. There was no reason she would have moved. Yes, that is true. She has to be in the room, right? Unless someone moved her, obviously. But it won't be that easy. She's going to be gone, of course. Of course she's going to be gone. What am I thinking? She had to be asleep. There's no reason she would have moved. Rem ought to be sleeping in the room that very moment. With so many conditions piled together, wasn't it natural he would check on her first? Subaru repeated unnecessary excuses over and over inside his head as he headed to the east wing of the mansion, to where Rem's bedroom was located. His breathing in disarray as his lungs convulsed. He clutched his chest as his loudly beating heart protested in concern. He abused his knees with a rapid, tottering steps as he carefully hurried to catch up with the anomaly. Man, I can't wait till the anime gets to this part, because it's going to really depict this as well. He's probably really going through it right now. This is getting intense. It's getting intense. Along the way, every door in the main wing had been flung open. This continued into the east wing, remaining the same as he reached the floor that contained Rem's bedroom. Come on, Rem. Rem's room was at the end of the corridor. The doors of every room before it remained open. Shit, Rem. Clicking his own tongue as he climbed up the stairs, Subaru ran towards the back of the corridor. The color of the evening sun thickly filled the corridor through the windows. Some kind of sweet aroma was mixed in with the serene air. Breathing hard, Subaru's own body was dyed orange as he quickened his ragged steps. His body is dyed orange? What? His heart beat loud and faster, sending painful throbs and a feeling he could not describe racing through his eyes. Horror poured in, intruding upon his brain and leaving him able to think of only one thing. He had to find out if Rem was safe. But whoa! As Subaru's thoughts raced, his feet suddenly tripped 2 rims short of his destination. Subaru's chest slammed into the corridor's floor, leaving him gritting his teeth at his own folly. Clenching the fist that had landed on the carpet, he tilted his head and came back to his senses. I swear, if he gets up and someone's just there and he's about to die, I swear. His feet had snagged on something. What is this something? That's what had tripped him. He'd been focused solely on the doors of the rooms he'd been passing when something slender at his feet had made him fall. It's a corpse, isn't it? It's a corpse. With everything dyed in the glossy light of the setting sun, it was... Oh yeah, his body was dyed orange from the sun. I think that's what I was trying to say. With everything dyed in the glossy light of the setting sun, it was difficult to tell what its original color had been, but the thing was slender and long, stretching out without interruption. When Subaru's eyes followed it to its end point, he realized where it came from. It was no great mystery. It simply tumbled out of the rent side of Subaru's abdomen. Huh? What? It had simply tumbled out of the rent side of Subaru's abdomen. Wait, the right flank of his tracksuit had been cut clean? That was where the yellow's intestines had tumbled out? What the fuck is going on? Wait, did he trip over his own intestines? Is that what just happened? The right flank of his tracksuit had been cut clean? That was where the yellowy intestines had tumbled out. A large amount of blood was pooling beneath him. He wasn't sure if his right foot had stumbled over his small or his large. Oh, that's fucking disgusting. Oh, just imagining being in this situation. Oh, did I tumble over my... Which intestines did I tumble over? Huh. Oh my god. Who the hell is this? What happened? Did someone... But at any rate, his innards had been expelled, seemingly clinging to their owner. The instant he confirmed this fact, his throat was blocked by a rising clump of blood, and the world was dyed crimson. His trembling fingers tried to stuff back in the... Oh my god. His trembling fingers tried to stuff back in the innards pouring out due to the pressure exerted by his belly. But he didn't have the strength. Then his knees failed as well. Before he realized, he had tumbled forward onto the carpet. He didn't know what happened, only that his belly had been fatally slashed. I told you, didn't I? I promised you, yes? What? Suddenly there was a voice, straight ahead from the direction that Subaru's fallen head pointed. Someone was... What the That came out of nowhere. Oh, the way that the author wrote that, it was just, what? Like, he tripped over something, then it says it was in his intestines. Like, what? That was amazing, but terrible. Like, who is this? Who is this? Straight ahead from the direction that Subaru's fallen head pointed, something was talking to him. He couldn't lift up his face. His consciousness was draining away with his organs. Mixing with the coursing blood and spreading thinly across the floor, Subaru desperately gurgled, as if trying to cling to a world that was growing more distant. It's over, his instincts proclaimed. I told you, didn't I? I promised you, yes? Who... So this is obviously someone he's met before. But I can't recall anyone who, like, made him a promise. I have no idea. He understood that, but somewhere in his heart, Subaru rejected dying for nothing. It wasn't over. It couldn't be over. Not until he gained something. Obtained something. If he didn't return with something, anything. Something, anything, something, anything. Holy shit. No fucking way! It's Elsa! It's Elsa! What is Elsa doing? What is Elsa doing? Why is she at the mansion? What? No fucking way! There was the high-pitched echo of shoes striking the floor. A shadowy figure stood in the corridor, dyed crimson from the spring of fresh blood. She wore a black outfit on her slender physique. Her long black hair was tied back in a triple braid. Adorningly, with a courtish look, she gazed down at his dying moments. When he sensed those things, along with the sensation of having his belly cut, Subaru understood. Why are you here, in front of Rem's room? I told you to take care of your bowels until the... Oh my god. Oh my god. I remember she did say that. Oh, that is badass. That is badass, man. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hold on, man. I told you to take care of your bowels until the next time we meet. Holy shit. Who would have thought Elsa would be? Why Elsa? It was a declaration of love that had gone astray, the pure affection of a murderer that no one else could understand. As Subaru Natsuki's consciousness grew hazy, that was the only thing that grazed the fingertips of his soul. Hazy, dark, and finally, everything vanished. It was the end, and then they began anew. The curtain of Subaru's fourth loop had risen. And to think, at the beginning of this part, I'm like, Subaru hasn't died once. He's gonna go through this book, and I was happy for him. He got through it without dying. He's making some good progress. And Elsa comes along and says, nope, you thought. Oh my god. Why though? Why would Elsa be there? What kind of motive does Elsa have? My brain, there's too many mysteries going on. Subaru didn't even get to see Beatrice or anyone. There's too much stuff we just don't know. Why would Elsa be there? And she was in front of Rem's room. What could she want with Rem? Man, what the fuck? Honestly, guys, I don't know. This is why I love Ryuzu. This came out of nowhere. I mean, not exactly nowhere, but because it did say things were kind of like weird when he was walking in there into the mansion the first time. You know, we saw Pat Lash kind of be a little skittish, but the way it said how he died, him trying to like put his intestines and organs back in, man, that is gruesome. I wonder how the anime is gonna do with that part. And the way it just came out of nowhere. It was literally, he was walking or was running, and he tripped over something, right? Oh, I thought it was just a corpse, maybe, or no, something was just there. And then it said, oh, it was a long, like, thing stretching out. I'm like, what? Okay, it's not a corpse. And it's, it's his freaking intestines. He tripped over his intestines. The way that was written was just amazing, in my opinion. I did not expect that. Like, it just didn't just outright say he tripped over his intestines. It just kind of built up. I don't know. It was just cool. Man. Poor Subaru, dude. Oh my god. I just don't know. I'm just rambling. I don't know. Of course it ends there. Of course, on a huge cliffhanger. You know, I have the next 2 volumes, but I'm just gonna wait till the anime. Man, oh my god. I mean, I think, yeah, that was his only death in this book. Well, I mean, at the beginning it did say he killed himself after finding out Ram had vanished in everyone's mind. He tried to kill himself to reset back and do the whole whale thing, and you know. But other than that, it's his first death, and of course, it's at the end of the book. And now I have to wait and see what happens. No, I don't, just don't know. Man, that was a fantastic read. That was so good. That was so good, dude. That was so good. That's why I love ReZero. My favorite series, man. No other series could do this to me. My goodness. I mean, I was thinking maybe Petra. We'd see Petra or someone, maybe Frederica, just dead, and then maybe some else would kill him after he saw. But nope. We don't know. We don't know what happened to Frederica. We don't know what happened to Petra. We don't know if they got away. I think we can safely assume they're dead. And man, just the way she said that last line. Didn't I tell you to take care of your bowels? That was a badass line. That was a badass line. Man, amazing book. Volume 10 is amazing. I really loved Volume 10. So I'm actually gonna read the little afterword, the notes from the author, real quick as well. See what he has to say. I figured I might as well. Yes, hiya. I'm Tape Nagatsuki. I'm also the mouse-colored cat. This time I want to thank you very much for buying and reading ReZero, Volume 10. Huh? I'm getting deja vu. It's like I'm somehow written a green like this very recently. So while I was stricken by a sense of familiarity, that's not deja vu. It's that Volume 9 and 10 are being published back to back in November, with the anime broadcast ending in September. It's a treat to be able to read about the immediate aftermath in Volumes 9 and 10. Which unfortunately I didn't get to read it because it wasn't translated back then. Unfortunately. Truly the days were spent going from frying pan into fire. From start to finish, this is fault of the author of your blue thing saying, hey, once the anime's finished, I'll be able to pick up the publication pace. No, that's not the case. If anything would be a fault, it would be you readers just saying, that sounds really fun, please do it. And I would never lay blame like that. The delight of all the readers that back-to-back publication in November is the fruit of Nagatsuki's soul as the author. Also, the fruit of the senior editor saying, in a great burst of hot energy, we can do it. Mr. Natsuki, we can do it. And you see, we did it. Okay, so we're talking about the publication. That's nice. Furthermore, this time with Volume 10, ReZero enters a brand new arc. By a new arc, I obviously mean changes in the scenery and the characters appearing on stage. And that means Atsuka has been designed plenty of new characters. Of course, I would call the characters he designed gems, so it's quite an ordeal, even for a superhuman like Atsuka. Hey, who's that guy who mouthed off on his own to the tune of, once the anime is over, I'll raise the production space? Who? Me? It was me. Man, I love these little afterward notes. Just, senior editor saying thank you. Counting on your fine service and their hardships. Plans matter. Last but not least, my greatest thanks to all you readers who have followed this tale thus far. The long third arc is over. Okay, so the third arc is over now. Okay, this was the third arc. The theme of arc 3... Oh no, the long third arc is over, and with this volume, the fourth arc begins. The theme of arc 3 is self-awareness. The theme of arc 4 is self-reliance. New hardships block the characters' paths, so by all means, watch as they aim to do whatever it takes to overcome these obstacles. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you again in volume 11. No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So that was the end of, this was the end of Arc 3. All there we had. I just wanted to quickly read through that, but I always love reading the little author notes at the end. So yeah, guys, thank you. Thank you very much for sticking with me on this. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the, the viewers, the comments. I really do. It brightens my day, seriously. So, unfortunately, our journey has ended, and I think I might do a reaction to the anime. I might have to figure out how to, set that all up. But if you're supportive of that, please let me know. I'd really appreciate it. But man, volume 10, one of my favorite volumes. Is Subaru went through so much development. It's unreal, man. When he faced his past, it was just so heartbreaking for me. Talk with his father and his mother, just thinking about it is almost making me tear up a little, man. It was just a beautiful. Chapter 4 was beautiful. Chapter 5 was pretty much just setting things up, and obviously at the end it was very intense. And of course, in this volume we got to meet so many new characters, man. Echidna, which is crazy. The Witch agreed. Awesome character. I really love Echidna. I hope we learn more about her later on. Garfiel, Frederica, Ryuzu. I think that's pretty much all the main characters there all the new characters in this book. So man, I love this book. I love this book. And I cannot wait to see the anime. I am so hyped for the anime. I am so excited. So I know it's gonna be split into, I think it's split core, that's what it's called. So the first 12 or 30 episodes will air, and then they'll have a 3-month break after that. So maybe what I'll do is I'll react to the anime, and once it gets to that end, that episode 12 or 13, I'll pick up where it left off on the light novels, whether it be 11 or 12. I'm not sure where it might leave off, but that's what I plan on doing. So either way, guys, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for sticking with me through this journey of mine. I've done anything on YouTube like this before. It's been super fun. I really enjoyed it. I love giving some of my thoughts and reactions on these things, because if I was reading this without doing YouTube, I would just feel like I had no place to really output what I'm thinking, my feelings. Because none of my IRL friends watch ReZero. I'm trying to get them to watch it, but I'm gonna keep pestering them to do it. They're gonna do it, whether they like it or not. So yeah, I really enjoy doing this. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. So again, thank you very much. I'm gonna say it a million times. Thank you. And I'll probably be signing off here now. I might see you guys in a reaction to the anime. Obviously, I don't know what's going on for the first few episodes, but maybe I'll be able to give more of my thoughts on things. Maybe the differences between a light novel and the anime I can mention. But until then, have you guys a damn good day, a damn good night wherever you are. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm out.